From Chesapeake, Virginia, WHKT presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick. Now here is Greg Bicouvaris.
All right, thank you very much, Joe Daniel. Glad you're with us on 1650 AM, 92.5 FM on this beautiful Wednesday, May 17th in Hampton Roads. Sports Scene is an interview show every Wednesday, 12 to 1. We also invite you to watch sports highlights on nnpstv.com. Tell your friends about 1650 AM and 92.5 FM. Twitter at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight, at GJBTV, and HR1LineMall.com. Thank you to our military. Great guest lineup. Al Galdi from ESPN 980, who's been on the show several times before, will join us here in just a few moments. Sponsors on GJBTV.com and Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com. Great guest lineup presented by Mi Casita Mexican Restaurant with two great locations in Virginia Beach. Phone line presented by Outback Steakhouse in Kempsville in Virginia Beach as well. Well, the Kingsmill LPG event starts tomorrow in Williamsburg. The NBA, NHL postseason in full gear, minus the Wizards and the Caps, of course. Major League Baseball, the Nats, and the Orioles playing very well. And, of course, the Tides, the AAA affiliate of the Orioles as well. Sponsors this month are Crawl Space Doors, Me Hogar, Newport News Greek Festival. Great interviews, business segments, highlights, commentary, what teased me off. Thank you for making the habit to listen to Sports Scene each Wednesday from 12 to 1. We love our regulars and our newcomers as well. We'll take a 1-minute break, come back with Al Galdi right after this.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet.
Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
Mark your calendar for June 1st through June 4th as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Enjoy authentic Greek food, desserts, beverages, music, dancing, arts and crafts, and much more. This is the 50th anniversary of this signature event on the peninsula, and it will be special. The Newport News Greek Festival is located at 60 Travis Road, off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org.
Catch up on archived editions of Sports Scene by going to gjbtv.com and clicking the YouTube image on the homepage. Now back to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris.
All right, welcome back to 1650 AM, of course, 92.5 FM. Got to get that straight right there, Joe Daniel. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us with Joe Daniel. Of course, we've had this gentleman on before, as well as several of his colleagues as well, like Scott Jackson and Kevin Sheehan. He is part of the 5 to 7 a.m. morning lineup on ESPN 980 in the DMV. Let's welcome back Al Galdi. How are you, my friend?
Hey, what's going on?
Very good, very good. Of course, you're a morning person now. First of all, how are you getting used to that the last several months you've been doing that?
Yeah, man. Well, this is like my dinner time. So you know what? You just adjust your clock and you make it work. So it's been going well.
Very good. All right, before we talk about the O's and the Nats, which you always do a lot on the weekends, let's talk about the Wizards and the Caps. First of all, we'll start off with the Wizards. They got close, but no cigar. And, of course, their weaknesses really got showcased, on national TV about their bench and their defense.
Yeah, ultimately, I think the Wizards had a really good season, especially when you consider the 2-8 start, and the season looked like a train wreck just a few months ago. But it's disappointing because this was a missed opportunity. I do think the Wizards were the better team in terms of the roster, but I don't think they played better. I think Boston played better. And I think that's a hard pill to swallow if you're a Wizards fan, but I don't know how you deny it at this point. I think the Wizards are going to look at this offseason and say to themselves they've got to get better defensively. Yeah, if you've been a Wizards/Bullets fan for any length of time, that's a familiar refrain, but it's something that's undeniable. And they're going to look at this offseason and say we've got to find a way to get our bench better. And it doesn't have to be great, but it cannot be what it was for way too much of this season. The Wizards starting five is among the best in the NBA. I mean, I think it's a top 5 starting 5 in the league. The issue is that bench. And if they can just get, a couple of pieces they can count on that bench, you don't need like 4 or 5 people. You need, really 2 or 3. If you're able to develop that, cultivate that, then there's no reason why this team can't be a step further next year and be in the NBA's Final Four.
Absolutely. You're talking about players that might come or go, like Gortat. He's going to be up for grabs, and you got to wonder about Porter and even Morris, to an example. But even the great chemistry that Wall and Beal showed as the year went on, Wall's definitely evolved to a top-tier player. But Beal, it still seems like, and maybe that's why he wasn't an all-star, he's very good at posting up, shooting the outside shot, but he offers very little more. He doesn't have the exact fire or the tenacity that Wall does, and his defense is still so-so. So in order to have a great 1-2 punch, both to me got to be on the same page, offense, defense at all times.
Yeah, I think with Beal, he had a very up and down postseason, which was frustrating. He did not shoot the 3 well, but Beal was so good in Game 7. I was so impressed with how he played. And, Beal, it seemed to me, watching that game, Boston would hit a big shot, and then Beal would come right back and would respond. So I think on the whole, Beal had a very good year, and I think more important than anything is he stayed healthy, which has been a huge issue with him. He's missed a ton of time over his short career so far due to injury, and so for him just to hold up and that body to hold up, that was maybe as encouraging as anything. I think in Wall and Beal, you have one of the best backcourts in the NBA. It's a funny deal because one of the big storylines coming into the season was the Wall-Beal relationship, and both guys admitting last summer that they had issues at times with each other, and that ended up being a total non-issue, total non-storyline as this season went on. So, you have 2 guys in Wall and Beal, 2 top 5 picks, 2 max contract extended guys. Each guy, to me, is coming off a very good season. There are nits to pick, of course, but on the whole, you've got a championship caliber backcourt. Now it's really about building up the rest of the team, like I said, especially that bench. And there's no reason why this team, look, in the LeBron NBA, it's very hard to win the championship. Understand that. But at some point, Cleveland is going to fall off. At some point, LeBron is going to show signs of aging. And, not that you wish this on anybody, but there's a lot of basketball mileage on LeBron. At some point, the body's going to start to give out, and he may get injured. You just don't know how these things go. So I think the Wizards are knocking on that door, and it's just a matter of making a few right moves this offseason, and they can get to where they have not been in way too long, which is the conference finals. It's amazing. 1979 was the last time they made it that far.
Right. Talking to Al Galdi from ESPN 980 in the DMV. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us live right here on 1650 AM at 1214. Also 92.5 FM. Of course, tunein.com, type in WHKT. And you're right. And, of course, Brooks had a good first year. Brand new coach. Had a really slow start. They got 49 wins. They played consistent, great basketball for the second half of the season, but of course not quite ready for the Celtics in Game 7. It just seemed like, like it's rare that every home team won, but it is what it is, and I guess the Wizards just have to move on.
Yeah, again, they cannot. It's wrong to look at this season and be upset with it just because, again, at 2-8. I've lived in this area my whole life. At 2-8, it felt like so many 50 and 60 loss seasons of Wizards/Bullets past. So that they were able to turn this year around like they did. As a fan, I'm very appreciative of that. Like I don't overlook that. I just you're kind of like geez, man, because you were right there. You were leading in the second half of Game 7, and the defense, especially in that second half, where you give up 62 points. You let Kelly Olynyk, of all people, run wild like he did in that fourth quarter. It's just you were right there. You felt like, man, why couldn't it have happened? In some ways, and it's not a perfect comp, but in some ways it's like the 2012 Redskins season where you get off to a really bad start, you rally, and you end up having your best regular season in a long time. You're up 14-0 at one point in that playoff game, and then it all falls apart. And you recognize at the end of that game, putting aside the Robert injury, just like it was a missed opportunity, because even though at 3-6 you would have signed up for losing in the first round of the playoffs that year, you understood that you felt like, hey, this was a chance to go forward. This was a chance to continue that run, and ultimately you were unable to do that.
All right, talking to Al Galdi from ESPN 980. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us right here on Sports Scene. Let's shift gears before we talk about the Caps. Your thoughts on the Celtics, Cavs, and of course, you see where Golden State's already up 2-0. Kind of controversial so far with Pop, and it always is, because Pop is a high-maintenance coach, and he expects that from his players and everybody else, and including the NBA. Your thoughts on those two series?
Yeah, I honestly, this NBA postseason, to me, I'm so thankful that the Wizards did what they did, because it just has not been very interesting. It feels like we're on a one-way track to Cleveland, Golden State for a third straight year, which, by the way, is not a bad thing. I think it'll be exciting. I think they'll have a lot of juice. But the lead-up to that has just had no drama. I mean, the Warriors are just killing everybody. Cleveland has been killing everybody. I don't know that they'll run through the Celtics like Cleveland has run through the first two rounds, but I do think that the Cavaliers are going to win this series in 5 or 6 games. I do not think Boston has much of a chance to beat Cleveland. Cleveland at its best is the class of the East. And it's a funny deal because the Cavaliers showed a lot of warts during the regular season. The defense was really bad as the season went on. And it's just another reminder of how in the NBA you have the regular season and you have the postseason. And they are two different beasts. And the regular season in some ways can be like a house of mirrors, where what you see isn't necessarily what you're going to get in the coming months. As far as Golden State, San Antonio, yeah, I mean, the shame of this thing is that Kawhi Leonard got hurt. And if he's healthy, I think you've got a chance at a competitive series. You've got a chance for a classic 7-gamer. Without Kawhi, and, I do think he'll play again in the series. I think it's actually a pretty good shot he plays Saturday night. But I don't see San Antonio winning 4 out of 5, even if Kawhi somehow miraculously is able to play over the final 5 games. Golden State is a great team. Cleveland is a great team. And unfortunately, they're just not going to be challenged like we want them to be challenged. En route to what I think will be a compelling NBA Finals, it's just the painful part is getting there, but I think once we get there, it'll be a lot of fun.
Good enough. Caps, you've seen enough agony, kind of like almost the Nats, but 55-19-8, excellent regular season. They get by the first round barely, and of course they fall, in the next round. What's the next step for the Caps? What are the fans in the DMV saying? I know the Redskins fans are always going to be number one. Redskins is always number one, but the Caps fans have to be agonizing once again, as well as Ted Leonsis.
Yeah, and this one felt different. There have been so many of these first and second round exits over the years. This one felt different. This one felt like it was particularly painful. And watching the exit interviews for players last Friday, you could tell it was different. These guys looked like they had just, come out of just some kind of tragic occurrence, the way they were speaking. I mean, these hushed tones and short answers, and they didn't have any answers as to what the problem is. The Caps are going to look different. They have a lot of free agents, especially unrestricted free agents, so the roster will be different. There's been talk of trading Alex Ovechkin. I think the Caps should be open to it. I wouldn't necessarily advocate it, but if you can get a sizable haul back for him, I would be open to doing that. It's quite clear the Caps at this point see him as a declining player, and you saw that when they demoted him to the third line as the postseason progressed. All that said, as painful as this was, the Caps still can be a good team. I think even with a different roster next year, they still should be a playoff team. And the way the NHL works, and this is the kind of thing I've been saying for a long time, and you get tired of saying it because it doesn't come to fruition, but you don't have to be great to do great. And there are so many examples in Stanley Cup playoff history of teams that are like, 5 seeds, 6 seeds, that kind of thing, that make deep runs. It's very fluky the way hockey works, the way these goals come about. The bouncing of a puck, the condition of the ice. A puck goes off a skate and then a stick. I mean, it's almost random sometimes who scores. So if the Caps can just continue to get into the playoffs, I've got to think at some point they get past the darn second round. I mean, it's incredible that the Caps have made the playoffs as many times as they have, and they've only ever made it past the second round 2 times. I mean, it's just nuts when you think about that. Just like the law of averages, you would think at some point would work in the Caps' favor, and they would have found a way to just sort of, luckily fall into making the conference finals for a third time. Hasn't happened.
Your thought?
I think if you're the Caps, you stick with it because you still got an opportunity here.
I agree. Your thoughts on the other 2 series, Predators, Ducks, Penguins, Senators?
Yeah, I do like the Penguins to beat Ottawa. Ottawa is a pesky team. It's not an easy team to play with. It's not an aesthetically pleasing team to watch, but I do like the Pens. And you know what? I look at that Anaheim-Nashville series. It's a tricky one to figure out, but I'm going to go Nashville. I like a lot of what I've seen so far. I know it's only up 2-1, but the Predators, to me, it's the kind of thing where they've got Pecorine, they've got a star in Philip Forsberg, and it's not easy to say that as a Caps fan, given the one-way nature of that trade and how that's played out. But I like a Nashville-Pittsburgh Stanley Cup final.
All right, let's move over to baseball, talking to Al Galdi from ESPN 980. Al, go ahead and plug your Twitter handle as well.
Yeah, at Al Galdi.
Very good, very good. Orioles, Nationals playing very well, playing solid baseball. Orioles seem like they have a thorn with the Yankees playing improved baseball. The Nats, I don't recall a regular season where the Nats seem so clear ahead of their competition in their division. They're 25-13. The Mets aren't a threat right now. Of course, they're always dangerous. The Marlins seem to be fading. They host the All-Star game this year. The Nats do next year. But who's the competition for the Nats in their own division, as we've almost gotten to 40 games almost?
Yeah, nobody. I mean, the division's terrible. It's one of the worst divisions in major North American pro sports, and the Nats are the beneficiaries. And we saw this last year in many ways, even though the Mets got a wild card. The Mets were a flawed team last year. They fattened up on a bad schedule down the stretch en route to making the postseason. So this division, look, it's too early to say it's done. But, boy, this is the kind of season where the first-place team can run away and hide, and the Nats are certainly in a position to start doing that. It's a funny deal because the Nationals' bullpen is really bad, like really bad. It's one of the worst bullpens I've ever seen, but it doesn't matter. The Nats have the best record in the National League. The Nats have an exceptional offense. The Nats still have good starting pitching. And, again, they play in this division that is just atrocious. I mean, there's no other way to put it. The Mets have been a disaster, bunch of injuries. They've had some internal issues as well. Atlanta's rebuilding. Philadelphia's rebuilding. Miami, I think, is reeling off the death of Jose Fernandez last year. So this division is the Nats to have, and it would take one of the all-time collapses, in my opinion, for the Nats not to win this thing this year.
How about the Orioles?
Yeah, so the Orioles are doing as they've done so often since Buck Showalter took over, and that is they're winning, and no one can really figure out how. It's a funny deal with them, man. Their starting pitching is not great. It has been actually really bad for a long time. Their bullpen is in a bad place right now with Zach Britton serving a second stint on the 10-day disabled list and guys like Brad Brock not performing well. The offense, while it hasn't been bad, it also hasn't been as good as you know it can be. And yet here you have the O's with the record that they've got. Now, long-term, I've got worries about the starting pitching. I think you have to. Kevin Gausman is yet to get on track. Long-term, the bullpen without Britton, who's not expected to be back anytime soon, you've got to be worried. And long-term, the offense, well, I think it's going to end up being fine. It's also not an offense that does great in terms of, like, drawing walks and getting on base. The O's have been a feast or famine offense for a long time, where it's the home run or nothing, and guys like Mark Trumbo and Manny Machado have yet to get going in that department. But Buck Showalter is an exceptional manager. And the O's just, they always overachieve. I mean, this has happened in 2012, 2014, 2016, and it may well be happening again. So, there's a saying in Baltimore, and Buck we trust, and this season may be the best example yet of that.
He's as consistent as they get, Buck is, and of course he keeps on winning. We'll see how it evolves with the Yankees. I guess that kind of surprised people early on as well. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us on Sports Scene on 92.5 FM, 1650 AM, talking to Al Galdi from ESPN 980 from the DMV as well. Al, let's talk about the Redskins the final few moments. They've played in Richmond the last several years for their camps. First of all, what is the take on going back to Richmond? Is it getting old? Is it getting stale? Or is it something, fresh? What's the thoughts on Richmond, and what are your thoughts personally as well? And the biggest off-season drama besides the GM and the quarterback, as always.
Yeah, I mean, the Richmond thing, I've been out there. It's a nice facility. I think the Redskins like the relationship they've forged with the state of Virginia. I mean, Mike, the two questions with Richmond and me are, A, has it been as financially beneficial to the city of Richmond as was the hope? And I've heard mixed things on that, so I don't know where that stands, but I know that's popped up as an issue. And, the facility, while it's nice, I know it's not especially large. And so I know at least in years past, the Redskins have had to hold meetings off-site. So they've had to hold meetings at, I think, hotels as opposed to at the facility where they train. So I think those are the two things that stand out. But, look, Richmond is a beautiful city, and the Redskins have a very healthy relationship with the state. And, they're very gung-ho about going back there for, it's hard to believe, this will be the 5th year. in Richmond for training camp.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts on the structure with Allen and Snyder, of course? Is Allen the type that all those that have power are afraid to lose it with Scott? Because Scott seemed like he was on the right track. He had, off the field issues, let's say, with alcohol before in the past and some drama, even with one of his family members. We'll leave that one alone. But it seemed like for the most part the players liked him. He was always on the sideline. I know being up at the TV booth, he was always engaged. I mean, he looked like he was an assistant coach on the field. You saw him a lot more often as well in practice. Who's in charge now?
Well, Bruce is in charge. That's for darn sure. Bruce is, if you're familiar with the movie Captain Phillips, Bruce is the captain now, as the saying is in that movie. In terms of what happened between him and Scott, it's really hard to figure out. I've talked to a lot of people about it. The best way I would put it is, I think this was a gray area, nuanced circumstance. I don't think the situation is as one-sided as has been made to be the case by a lot of people in the media. I think there was a power struggle. I think there was some personal animosity between Bruce and Scott, but I also think that Scott's personal demons came up as well. So, I don't think it's one of these deals, unfortunately, where it's easy to figure out who's right and who's wrong. And I think it may well be one of these cases where there is no good guy, there is no bad guy. It's like a lot of things in life, it kind of depends on your vantage point and what side you're coming from. All that said, I do wish Scott was still here. I thought he was doing a good job. Didn't think he was doing a great job. There were some misses, but I wanted to see more. I mean, you wouldn't look at his track record over his 2 years with the Skins and say it warranted him being out of a job. I would say this. I don't think him being out dooms the Redskins. They can still have success. They've had, by all reviews, a good draft. We'll see what it ends up being. You don't know anything for sure. But, every pick they made sense. They seem to get some value in guys like Fabian Moreau and Jonathan Allen. I love what the Skins have done for the most part in free agency. The Terrell Pryor signing, the Zach Brown signing, those are low-risk potential, very high-reward deals. I don't love losing both Pierre Garçon and Deshaun Jackson, but you know what? If you're going to err on the side of caution with receivers over the age of 30. And, the Redskins have made it a point to address the defense this offseason as well, with the defensive line signing. So, and DJ Swearinger too. So they've been active. I think they've done things that make sense. The ultimate proof is going to be in the performance. And if the Redskins do well and they have a third straight winning season and the bulk of the offseason maneuverings end up being positive ones, then Bruce is going to get a lot of credit. And a lot of the people who've been bashing him this offseason are going to be made to look pretty foolish. And conversely, if the Redskins struggle and if guys like Stacey McGee and Terrell McClain fall on their faces, then Bruce is going to take a lot of criticism. So, I mean, that's one of the beauties of sports, man. Ultimately, you are judged by your product, and the Redskins have had a pretty good product the last 2 years. They're hoping to take that next step. I think it's more than plausible that they do. So we'll see. We'll see. I still think, though, the big overarching thing with this franchise is the Kirk Cousins situation. And I just hope as a fan that they get him locked up long-term, because I think that ultimately is what matters more than anything this offseason, including what went down with McLuhan.
That and make the postseason in 2017. Al, all the best. Continued success on your morning show, and all the best to you and the ESPN 980 family. Great job that you always do.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. Al Galdi from ESPN 980. Of course, catch the new wave as your Norfolk Tides take the field at beautiful Harbor Park. Bring your friends and family to root on the Orioles of tomorrow. Log on to NorfolkTides.com for information on season tickets, groups, and merchandise. Follow the Tides on Twitter and Facebook for up-to-date promotions and player moves. Tides Baseball, see the green. Sports Scene continues after the news break.
Interact with Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick. Email bicogb@hotmail.com. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris in the Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com studios. It's now time for Greg's Highlights, presented by Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com.
All right, thank you very much, Joe Daniel, for that nice liners right there, the openings as well. Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us. Go to gjbtv.com, hit the YouTube link for archive shows. Visit all the pages of gjbtv.com and Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com. That's Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com. Browse, shop, visit. Hope you enjoyed our first guest, Al Galdi from ESPN 980 in Washington, D.C., talking Redskins, Caps, Wizards, Nationals, and of course the Orioles too. Nats and Orioles doing very well. Save the date. We'll be back next Wednesday from 12 to 1. Looking ahead to June 14th, I'll take a break that week. Rick Kiefner will fill in. He's part of the Old Dominion Radio Network as well. Joe Daniel will keep him straight for sure. HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Browse, shop, visit as well. Thank our good friends at Caponara in Newport News. Their phone number is 369-8808. They're located at 14501 Warwick Boulevard in the Denby section of Newport News. Dine in and carry out. They got military and senior discounts as well. Excellent appetizers, Asian food like gyoza, as well as yakitori, Japanese entrees, Japanese noodles, seafood specials like flounder and shrimp, as well as Thai entrees, Vietnamese entrees as well. I even said that right. I'm proud of myself. Of course, for Caponara Asian cuisine, give them a call at 369-8808. Better yet, go get some of that great lunch and dinner 7 days a week at 14501 Warwick Boulevard in Newport News. We'll take a short break. We'll come back after this.
Mi Hogar is your restaurant for the finest Mexican cuisine in Hampton Roads. At Mi Hogar, everything is prepared fresh in a casual atmosphere. Enjoy traditional favorites such as quesadillas, tacos, burritos, and fajitas, as well as refreshing beverages. Mi Hogar has 2 locations, 4201 Granby Street in Norfolk and 801 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Call ahead at 640-7705. At Mi Hogar, there is something for everyone.
Mark your calendar for June 1st through June 4th as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Enjoy authentic Greek food, desserts, beverages, music, dancing, arts and crafts, and much more. This is the 50th anniversary of this signature event on the peninsula, and it will be special. The Newport News Greek Festival is located at 60 Traverse Road, off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. Opa!
You are listening to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris. Now, back to Greg.
All right, back live right here on the radio, 92.5 FM, 1650 AM. It is pool season. We can say that, can't we, Candice Yost from Hidewood Pool?
Yes, sir.
Aren't you excited?
We are. We only have a couple more weeks till our opening day.
Well, let's talk about Hidewood Pool in Newport News. First of all, it's a great place to swim for young and old both. Talk about it. Great history.
Absolutely. We date back to the 1950s. We are nestled right in the middle of the Hidenwood neighborhood, right on Madison and Crittenden Lanes. And we have a wide variety of families from all over Newport News and some outside of Newport News that are members of our pool.
Very good. Let's talk about it. It's opening up very soon, but there's a lot of amenities that kids can get involved with the swim team. There's also social events for the adults as well.
Yes, we have. We do have a swim team for children from the age of about 4 or 5 until they are 18, and we have movie nights for the kids throughout the summer. We have Sunday fun days where we have cookouts with families and the children and swimming in the pool, and we have various other family nights or special occasions such as our July 4th party is an outstanding event that we have every year to celebrate our Independence Day.
Very good. Talking to Candice Yost right here from the Hidewood Pool at Newport News. Really something for everybody. Talk about your pool, how deep it is. You got a lot of nice diving boards as well.
We do. We have a shallow end, and we also have a separate baby pool. Our deep end has 2 different levels of diving boards and is 10 feet deep. And we have just this year built a brand new aluminum deck. So we are excited to offer members and non-members alike an opportunity to have a pool party at our pool and to reserve that deck for those special occasions.
Right. You're also very active in social media. You have a nice Facebook page, too, that people can keep up with Hidewood Pool year-round. That's very important. And excellent lifeguards, too. You're always looking for lifeguards. But really, there's something for everyone. It's a great, relaxing spot. People like to go to Hidewood Pool in Newport News after a long work day. And you're pretty much open 7 days a week, correct?
We are open 7 days a week. Yes, Greg.
Very good. What else do you have planned coming up? Because the first weekend always seems like it's the most busiest weekend that time of the year where people are just excited, just to jump in the pool.
Right. Well, typically most summer seasons kick off on Memorial Day weekend. So we open the Saturday before Memorial Day. We will be open 7 days a week up until usually about mid or late September. We actually stay open a little bit past Labor Day as the weather allows us to, only because the weather here in Virginia typically stays nice for a longer period of time past Labor Day.
Sure does. All right, go ahead and promote the website and give us the opening weekend one more time.
HydenwoodPool.com. And we open the Saturday before Memorial Day, which is 2 weeks, I believe, from this weekend. 1 week for this weekend. I'm sorry.
Yeah, getting close. Almost like 10 days away. Getting close. All right. Well, all the best to you, Candice, and we look forward to seeing you out at the pool, and all the best to the board. Y'all do a great job year-round, and I know people are looking forward to enjoying the nice social activities of the Hydenwood Pool in Newport News.
Wonderful. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you. Talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Candice Yost, and that's one thing, Joe Daniel. People love the swimming pool. They like to get in the pool. It's something for kids and adults both.
Absolutely, and the good thing about that too, it's not quite like the beach, because when you go to the beach, you got to lay out the towel, you got to put on sunscreen, all that kind of stuff. And so I'm not a sand person myself, so going to the pool is a perfect thing for me. I like that. I'm not a big ocean guy myself or beach guy, so going to the pool, absolutely.
I'm total opposite. I love everything. The pool, the beach, the lake, the bathtub. Doesn't matter.
As long as it has water.
As long as it's got water. I went fishing by my lake the other day, too, as well. So I just love it all. Of course, I want to thank our good friends at A Special Design Florist. Go by and see our good friend Sunny over there. Flowers and gifts for all occasions. She's right there in the Rich Neck Shopping Center in Newport News, 12917. Great tulips, roses. Special Design Florist VA.com. Give her a call at 872-8889. You need flowers, go by A Special Design Florist. Sunny will hook you up. She is the best florist I have ever seen in Hampton Roads. A Special Design Florist. She's consistent. She's been there for a long time. Roses, tulips, carnations, lilies. She's got it all right there at A Special Design Florist in the Rich Neck Shopping Center. Something for all occasions. She's got flowers and gifts for everything that you need as well. Before we get to our next guest, Christian from Panera will welcome a local tradition, CP Shuckers, with locations on Shore Drive and Pacific Avenue. People love their prime rib, seafood, and much more. They showcase NASCAR, Major League Baseball, the NHL, NBA playoffs, college sports, golf, soccer, tennis. Like both locations on Facebook and log on to cpshuckers.com. Eat or be eaten at CP Shuckers. Great seafood, pasta, burgers, steak bites, tuna bites. Go by and see Chef Leon at Shore Drive with his excellent bar bites. Matt, Mark, Chris, all the great management at CP Shuckers. We'll take a short break. Sports Scene will roll on. Hope you've enjoyed Al Galdi from ESPN 980. And, of course, Candice Yost talking about swimming in the pool season. For more, go to gjbtv.com. Hit the YouTube link at Greg Bick on Twitter. Stay tuned.
Here's another $5 value from our Shop with Praise bookstore. It's the Beginner's Bible from Zondervan. Children will love the vibrant three-dimensional art and the more than 90 Bible stories told at their level, making it a great starting point to understand the wonders and truth of the Scriptures. All for just $5. Get this super book from our Shop with Praise bookstore. Call 488-1010. That's 488-1010 for all the info. And Shop with Praise.
Mark your calendar for June 1st through June 4th as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Enjoy authentic Greek food, desserts, beverages, music, dancing, arts and crafts, and much more. This is the 50th anniversary of this signature event on the peninsula, and it will be special. The Newport News Greek Festival is located at 60 Travis Road, off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org.
Nor'easter season is here, so don't get all wet.
Protect your house. Call Crawl Space Door Systems at 363-0005. Reduce your flood insurance, reduce the threat of mold and insects, and save energy. Crawl Space Doors, air vents, flood vents, vent covers, and fans can help you stay dry or get you dry quickly. Contact Crawl Space Doors for more information at 363-0005 or online at crawlspacedores.com. Stay dry, my friends.
You are listening to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris. Now, back to Greg.
All right, back to Sports Scene. We have a live in-studio guest. You hear it all the time, PaneraBread.com. Let's welcome Christian, the general manager. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
Very good. Tell us about how long Christian has been with Panera.
I've been with Panera. It'll be coming up on 6 years this summer.
Very good, very good. Tell us about your background. How did you get involved in the restaurant business?
Just, working in college, like a lot of kids, just wanting to get out there and make some extra cash. And I fell in love with the restaurant industry and just stuck with it. And I knew this is where I kind of belonged at the time.
What I like about Panera is, like we said, it's 100% clean, and there's nothing on the menu that's bad. You know what I'm saying? Everything is fresh. Maybe if you don't like a lot of carbs, but you got great salads, you got great soups, you got smoothies. There's really something for everyone.
Yeah, there's great options. I mean, people joke with us now, especially with the clean, that we still have all these bakery items. But, what Panera wants to do is we want to give you options. Mm-hmm. So we're not saying that not having a sweet is something you can't do. You can have that and you can indulge a little bit, but we also have great healthy options for you, your family, that you can choose from. And if you want a sweet that day, sure, we got that for you too.
Exactly. You got great cookies, but your soups, your salads, and your sandwiches, to me, and your bread, those four things. I'm not the manager, but I feel like I'm an employee there sometimes because I love to eat there. But would you say those are your top four things? Your soup, salad, sandwiches, bread, of course, your breakfast as well. Your soufflés are good.
Yeah, and Panera has a lot of test stuff going on to improve our breakfast and what we can do for our guests. But yeah, those are our staple items. And they come and they go with the seasons. Mm-hmm. So right now we got our new strawberry poppy seed salad back. Everybody loves that.
Yeah.
So that's something everybody looks forward to, and that we're really enjoying people coming in and trying out some of the new salads along with the old favorites.
And a hearty sandwich and soup, especially, in the winter, is nothing like it.
Yeah, I mean, you come into Panera now, we were just speaking on this. We've evolved so much within the 6 years. I mean, you can come in now and get a dinner-size meal, which is very different than what, people viewed us before, which was soups and sandwiches.
Even look at this, your turkey, sausage, egg, and white spinach. Talk about that.
That's good. I love the turkey sausage. You got a crumbled turkey sausage in there. Fresh egg whites made with that every single time that we do it. You got the spinach on there. So there's so much. It's such a good, healthy meal. And with all the breads that we have to choose from, you really can make it the way you want it.
Yeah, get the whole loaf, really.
Yeah.
And, of course, we mentioned there's a great kids menu, too. And, of course, you have the lighter stuff like the oatmeal, the yogurt, the fruit as well.
Yep, absolutely. Like we said, you want to come in here and have, extra cheese on everything, we could do that for you. But we also have that fruit cup for you, that light oatmeal or something if you're looking a little bit healthier.
He's located right there, folks, in Harborview, 6255 College Drive in Suffolk, PaneraBread.com. You can order online for rapid pickup as well. The phone number is 483-3670, open 7 days a week, with a little bit later hours, too, for that late-night munchies. And I'm always amazed how people always congregate at Panera to study or get that laptop open.
Yeah, we always have that. It's a great place to sit down and have a good environment, what we like to call a nice oasis for you, to just be able to come in, see people that on a regular basis. They're going to clear dishes for you, maybe help you out with the coffees and stuff like that. But yeah, great place to study, bring groups. We have a knitting group that comes in every Saturday morning. Lovely ladies, and they sit down, they eat breakfast, and that's their time to meet. And we really enjoy being that place, for our community.
What are your hours?
Right, we are open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., except for Sundays. We'll be open 7 a.m. to 9. And delivery hours, those are available from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. And then we have our catering services, which you can do with us anytime, weekends, weekdays. And like you mentioned, with the online and app ordering that we have, again, just opens you up to whenever you want to come to Panera and how fast you want to get it. That's at your speed.
Especially for holidays, catering is really good, or a summer outing with the salads. But talk about what this is right here. This looks really, really good. Explain to the folks what that is.
So right here you have this is the turkey or the egg white and avocado spinach sandwich, and this is delicious. Fresh avocados we cut every day, and then you have obviously sliced tomato, and then our sprouted grain bagel flat, which is similar to the whole grain, but a little bit more nutrients in that, a little bit more health. So just delicious. People love it, and as soon as we got this out, we just started selling them like crazy.
I can tell, too. Always impressed, too, as we're talking to Christian Lietz from the general manager from Panera in Suffolk and Harborview, 6255 College Drive, PaneraBread.com. Great branding as well. Great logo. How many managers you guys have? I mean, you're the general manager, but that's a lot. Not only are you keeping track of employees and your customers, you have a lot of managers to keep track of, too.
Yeah, so we will be adding one new manager coming up shortly, so that'll give us a team of 7. And that's a nice, strong team, somebody to really focus on each area of concern because we have a lot of stuff going on within Panera's. You can order from 3 to 4 or 5 different ways, so you have to manage all those types of different avenues.
I told you a few months ago we had somebody that was a guest on the Food Network. Are you impressed by how many food shows there are on the weekends on TV and like on the Food Network and these other travel type channels? Food is such a big part. My dad always told me that's the number one entertainment. Mm-hmm. People have got to go eat no matter what else they like.
And yeah, exactly. We'll always be around. Restaurants will be there, and in time of need, the restaurant, the service industry is there for people. So that's huge with us and being there for people and food. I do love all the Food Network, the shows they got going on, and even this clean initiative has really driven personal choices within our guests and within associates to change their habits. And so we talk about the different food items all the time.
Right. We always have choices when we walk out the front door in the morning, how we're going to act or behave. Same thing as that diet. I mean, that's you think about this. You guys got fruit, and you've got bagels. You got light stuff that people can snack on, especially during the summer. We had a lady one from the swimming pool. That's perfect for the swimming pool and the beach. It's taking something from Panera there.
Yep. We package everything for you. I mean, we've even had delivery drivers deliver to the beach, oceanfront, to the sand for guests.
Wow. You deliver too.
Yeah, we deliver as well. So, we've had cafes that are in our Virginia Beach area that have delivered to the beach. It's been great.
Well, we hope to have you on again, and go ahead and plug whatever else you want to about your store.
We do also want to talk about, our online ordering system. We have an app that you can download on the App Store. It allows you to order pickup, so RPUs. So you just order, tell us when you want it ready. It'll be on the shelf for you. You're the king there. You walk past everybody, VIP. And then if you want to have it delivered to your home, we do have a radius around each cafe, and we'll deliver it to your home as well. Sit back, watch the Food Network, and get some of Panera's food ordered to you.
Yeah, Panera. You can't go wrong with Panera 7 days a week. I mean, people really smile when they go there.
Yeah, it's great getting to know and build relationships with the community that we have at each Panera. And it's just an enjoyable experience. I really love the company.
And, folks, this will be archived later tonight at gjbtv.com. Hit the YouTube link. You can hear more about the Panera concept and also Al Galdi as well as Candice Yost. And, Christian, thank you so much for your time, your talent, and your treasure. And we look forward to talking to you again in studio with another Panera guest here very soon.
Greg, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate everything you do, and we love talking about Panera. It's a great, great concept in American food. All right, stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
If you're in the mood for a taste treat that's sweet and rich, here's a value lunch special right up your alley. A $15 gift certificate for the Royal Chocolate Company in the Virginia Beach Town Center, half off for $7.50. Indulge yourself with gourmet chocolates, chocolate-covered strawberries, truffles, so much more. Call 488-1010 and get your $15 gift certificate for Royal Chocolates, half price, just $7.50. It's on the value line. Call 488-1010. Your taste buds will thank you.
Mark your calendar for June 1st through June 4th as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Enjoy authentic Greek food, desserts, beverages, music, dancing, arts and crafts, and much more. This is the 50th anniversary of this signature event on the peninsula, and it will be special. The Newport News Greek Festival is located at 60 Traverse Road, off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org.
You are listening to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris. Now, back to Greg.
All right, welcome back right here, 92.5 FM, 1650 AM Sports Scene. Also want to thank Outback and their great curbside menu in Virginia Beach at Kempsville Road, 1255 Fordham Drive. Go by and see Mike and the friendly staff. Outback Steakhouse, perfect for graduations and Father's Day. They, of course, got appetizers, entree salads, signature steaks, freshly made potatoes and sides, chicken, ribs, chops, and more. Of course, straight from the sea, great desserts. Outback.com with all the information as well, signature items, and of course Outback Steakhouse is located at 1255 Fordham Drive in Virginia Beach. Give them a call at 523-4832, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Outback Steakhouse as well, right here too. And of course, also want to thank Buffalo Wild Wings and Newport News. Go by and see Paul Odette and their friendly staff, always giving back to the community. They got a great lunch special for $5.79, $6.79, and $7.79. Pick one side as well. Add-ons too. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Watch wall-to-wall TVs, NBA, NHL playoffs at Buffalo Wild Wings and Newport News at 12150 Jefferson Avenue. Give them a call at 249-3999. Open late night as well. They got great showcase events at Buffalo Wild Wings. Go by and see Paul and the gracious staff, always giving back to the community. Great lunch, dinner, the best wings around. Of course, burgers, salads, desserts at Buffalo Wild Wings in Newport News. Wing, beer, and sports. What tees me off?
What tees you off? Presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com.
You know when you go to a grocery store, Joe Daniel, as the music continues, and of course you see people with those grocery carts just kind of like aimlessly wandering, and it's almost like they're driving their car and they're ready to hit somebody.
Yeah, you got to watch out for some people. It's the worst when like you're coming around a corner, coming around like an aisle, and then you're both making the turn at the same time and you just crash.
Yeah, the talk of stamps always getting higher and higher, the prices for stamps when snail mail is slow enough to begin with.
Yeah, how much is it now? Is it going to be like in the... It's almost 60 cents a stamp or something like
that? Not that much, but it's just nuts. It's just nuts. Okay, I walked into a craft brew place. Thought I was at a college dorm with clueless people drinking, no food except a food truck outside. Hello, that's why we prefer restaurants where you can sit down, eat, and drink.
Yeah. I mean, a good food truck is all right, but nothing like a restaurant.
You can't take a kid to a craft brew place, so that already eliminates a big portion of the crowd right there.
Yeah.
These fast charge outlets for cars, can you imagine it's summertime and they haven't evolved yet? Honey and the wife and the kids go for a long cross-country trip to Arizona. The kid goes, "Hey, Dad, where's the charger? We're low. We have nothing. We're stuck in traffic. We don't have gas. What are we going to do?"
Yeah.
They haven't evolved enough for that yet.
No, not yet. I mean, give it some time, but yeah, as of right now, no.
Cars breaking down on the interstate in general, especially during a rush hour.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It happened to me last week.
Did it?
Thank you, VDOT. Thank you, Highway Safety Patrol. Thank you. Distracted driving. One thing is to eat, Joe Daniel, or drink, but two people you notice in front of you debating and turning around and looking at each other and making eye contact while they're driving, maintaining in their lane and trying to go the speed limit.
Yeah, arguing in your car? Is that what you said? Arguing? Yeah. That's not a good... You're so distracted enough, as it is, and then just to throw in your emotional high, never a good combination.
This whole Cox Contour commercial where everybody's just laughing and giggling, it's just, come on, seriously, we get the point. We know Cox is a cable company as well. We bet you about the morning TV, about the Good Morning Joe Daniel. How about the morning giggle boxes that can't stop laughing?
What is that? I don't even know.
The weather people, everybody, just everything is funny, like they're like doing a comedy routine in the morning. Something about the morning, everything is funny.
Yeah, they're trying to put on a good show. I mean, all right.
Whatever. I want to thank Al Galdi from ESPN 980, Candice Yost from the Hidingwood Pool at Newport News, and Christian Lietz from PaneraBread.com right there in Harborview. I want to thank our great producer, Joe Daniel, great liners, GJBTV.com. Hit the YouTube link for archive shows. Tell your friends. 92.5 FM, 1650 AM. TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT to listen on your phone or your computer. Go to GJBTV.com for my background as well. The Norfolk Greek Festival is tomorrow. The Newport News Greek Festival starts June 1st. For Joe Daniel, I'm Greg Bicouvaris. Happy Wednesday at Greg Bick. We'll talk to you next week.
AM 1650 WHKT Portsmouth, 92.5 FM W223CT Norfolk. For your daily supply of news and talk, we are The Answer.